I'm Mike Towers. I'm the Chief Security and Trust Officer for Takeda Pharmaceuticals. Takeda has about 70,000 workers across 100 countries. We are a life sciences biopharmaceutical company, very science-driven. Takeda has about 50 manufacturing plants across about 35 countries. And Takeda is a historically very distributed company. The challenge that we had is that most of our manufacturing plants are quite old. The systems are old, and they're all non-standard. When you have one plant making biologics, another plant making vaccines, another plant making pills, another plant making liquids, so by design, they're going to be highly variable. We had zero visibility to the assets in these plants. We had zero security protection to many of the devices in these plants. So the primary initial use case for Armis was to deploy it in those plants and get full visibility of the assets in the manufacturing environment and start getting some level of control and monitoring for those additional devices. We tested 3 different partners, and Armis was pretty early in the process, I should say. But we found Armis to be the quickest time to value. Armis, first of all, says visibility. Second of all, says control. And third of all, says monitoring. Our first pilot plant was in Minnesota, right outside of Minneapolis in a town called Brooklyn Park. And we played a little bit of a game with them, and we said, kind of like we behave like an auditor would, where we're like, we're going to give you a chance to pre-disclose how many network devices that you think you have in your plant. And not to discredit them, I mean, they know their plant pretty well, but this is such a complex environment. They told us that it was about 100, and we stopped counting at 980. So that's only one plant. We're about 65% of the way through the program, and we found 42,000 devices that are in these plants across the globe. And we added about 18,000 of them as critical to the manufacturing process for monitoring reasons. So, and we've already found a series of potential cyber risks that without this program, without the Armis deployment, we would have never had any idea they existed. So it's already paid for itself. The primary benefits we've seen since deploying Armis is we have a lot more central, consistent control in an environment that before had no standardization. So we have a single asset repository and a single asset management solution for our entire manufacturing network, which before was duplicated by 50 times. And we've actually been so successful with the plant environment that we are applying it on the enterprise side. One of the things that's as important as the accuracy of the inventory is also the currency of the inventory. So when things change or if network patterns change, Armis tells us that immediately, which is really, really important to us because, again, any deviation from normalcy in these environments is very, very important to look at.